A son ignores his parents until it's too late. Daniel was a busy man, a successful businessman in the city, always surrounded by meetings, phone calls, and endless deadlines. His life moved fast, too fast. But far away, in a quiet town, lived his parents John and Margaret, old, fragile, and waiting. Every morning, Margaret would sit by the window, holding her phone tightly. "Maybe today, Daniel will call," she whispered with a hopeful smile. John, a man of few words, would walk slowly to the front gate every evening, staring down the empty road, as if his son might suddenly appear. But Daniel never came. At first, he called once a week, then once a month, then nothing at all. One afternoon, during an important meeting, Daniel's phone began to ring. He glanced at it. "Mom calling." He sighed and rejected the call. "I'll call her later," he said, putting the phone face down. But later never came. Days turned into weeks. Margaret kept trying. Sometimes she would just listen to his old voice messages, smiling through her tears. One cold night, John suddenly fell sick. His condition worsened quickly. Panicking, Margaret dialed Daniel again and again. Her hands trembled as she whispered, "Please pick up, please." But Daniel's phone was on silent. The next morning, Daniel woke up to several missed calls. Frustrated, he rubbed his eyes and called back. But instead of his mother's voice, a stranger answered. "Are you Daniel?" "Yes." "Who is this?" There was a long pause. "I'm your neighbor. I'm sorry. Your father passed away last night." Everything went silent. Daniel's heart dropped. "What? No, I was going to call." His voice broke, but it was too late. He rushed back to his hometown, for the first time in years. But instead of warm hugs, he was welcomed by grief. Inside the house, he saw his mother sitting alone, her eyes red and swollen. When she saw him, she didn't smile. She simply said, "He kept asking for you," until his last breath. Those words crushed him. Daniel fell to his knees. "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. But sorry couldn't change anything now." Days later, Daniel sat in his childhood room. Everything looked the same walls, the same memories. But one thing was missing, his father. He picked up his mother's old phone, opened the call log, dozens of missed calls, all to him. That night, Daniel sat beside Margaret. For the first time in years, no phone, no distractions, just silence and regret. Margaret gently placed her hand over his and said, "Son, success means nothing if you lose the people who love you the most." Tears streamed down Daniel's face. He finally understood, but the cost of that lesson was too great. Moral: don't wait for tomorrow to love your parents, because sometimes tomorrow never comes. Call your parents today, not later. Now.